right now with all the refugees in Turkey and in Iraq and in other places, Malaysia and other places that they've taken refuge. But this is one step, and we feel like it's an important step because we feel like it can be a tool for all of us to use on ongoing work, because this is not something that's going to be solved in a very short period of time. The purpose of the main purpose of the delegation is, first of all, the delegation is going to consist of 3 to 4 lawyers, 2 doctors, and 2 academics. And they're going to go to Turkey to prepare a fact-finding report and a video. They're going to meet with the American consul, they're going to meet with the UNHCR, and they're going to meet with consulates from other countries to discuss processing the Iranian refugees more efficiently and getting them out of Turkey and into their countries in ways that, you know, facilitate the movement. There are certain laws that bind the European Union about some countries have adopted the Dublin Plan, which means that refugees have to go through UNHCR in Turkey or Greece or in other places before they can be resettled in Europe. So we want to discuss other options. You know, there's some obscure provisions where people can just go to the consulate and ask for asylum and things like that. So we want to explore those things. At the same time, we want to meet with the refugees and document their case, try and find out how many people are there, where they are in the process, whether or not they've registered, whether or not they've had their interviews, and try and get information about their cases, their claims, to help them if they need a letter to expedite their case, or if they need an appeal, or what it is that they need to help move their cases through UNHCR. And we're working with a couple of lawyers that work in, they're actually American lawyers who are working in Turkey now to set up all the meetings with the consulates and with the different UNHCR, the consulates, and the whole NGO community that is working with refugees in Turkey. The trip is going to last. People are going to go there on the 28th and come back on the 2nd of April. We hope that they will prepare a report. We're going to prepare a fact-finding report in this video. And then the work will be here for people to take this, the tool. We see this as a tool so that people can start meeting with their representatives in their local area to make the issue of the situation of the refugees and human rights in Iran a priority with the U.S. government and with the European countries as well. Sometimes we want to do this work, but we don't know how to do it. Not everybody feels confident to have an appointment and go visit the congressperson. And it doesn't work with just one trip. So if everybody has this tool, 2 or 3 people can go 1 week, 2 or 3 people another week, and in different places. And we pass this tool will be made available. We're going to make an advocacy kit. And the advocacy kit will be posted, and people can download this, which will include the fact-finding report, the video, human rights reports from Amnesty, a copy of the recent UN Universal Periodic Review, which was very critical of the human rights situation in Iran, which the Islamic Republic rejected every single finding of the UN, and just rejected them all. Take all of these documents to try and encourage foreign governments, the U.S. and others, to shift their policy away from focusing so much on the nuclear issue into focusing more on human rights, and to try and go after, to explore litigation possibilities in the European courts, maybe here as well, I don't know, under the Alien Tort Claim Act, and other possible litigation tools. assets of the government and of officials in the regime and things like that. So different kinds of work can come out of this. At the same time, there are 2 doctors going on this delegation, and their purpose is to assess generally the situation of the refugees and to hopefully come back and work within the medical community to establish some sort of ongoing assistance for the refugees who are there, who are in crucial need of medical assistance because they don't have access to the medical system in Turkey. And also to provide financial assistance. That's not our job, but we hope that other organizations in the U.S. and in Europe will work together to set up some sort of network for providing direct assistance to people who need it. And so that's basically the purpose of this delegation, is to kind of initiate ongoing work to bring attention to the situation and to the human rights, violations of human rights in Iran. There was recently, the delegation is supported by Shirin Ebadi's office, FIDH, Dr. Lahaji, what is the League for Human Rights in
the Defense of Human Rights in Iran.
United for Iran, Omid Advocates, National Lawyers Guild, Iran Foundation, and other groups are supporting NORCAL, and other groups are supporting the delegation. What else can I say about it? Right now we're in touch with a number of refugees that are at different stage in the processing. Some are very far along and have had their cases rejected or in danger of being returned to Iran. Others are waiting for their interviews, and we're trying to intervene in those cases with like medical documentation or letters from professional organizations to ask the UNHCR to expedite those cases. The problem is that UNHCR has like 2 officers in Bonn that conduct these interviews. And these interviews, they like see 1 or 2 people a day. So when you're seeing 1 or 2 people a day, you can't really do many cases. So the backlog is tremendous on that end. So we want to try and explore other ways of like examining or making prima facie determinations that certain individuals qualify for refugee status and try and channel them in different ways. So that's basically the purpose of the project that we're working on. It is not something that will totally, resolve the situation, but is a step. And I personally feel that it's creating or will provide a tool that all of us can use here in grassroots organizing. One of our main problems here is that the U.S. Congress doesn't hear from the community. And we need to be able to influence them in a positive way. They hear from certain people, just like they always get the wrong information. They get the wrong information about Iraq, that they have weapons of mass destruction. They listen to that information, and they act on that because it's in their interest and whatever. But I think we have a responsibility to try and influence it. Everyone in here is living here, paying taxes, and you have a right to make demands on them to listen to your voice. And here you come in with a package that you can lead to them and say, read these materials and present a human face to the crisis that exists now. So that's the reason that we're doing it. And so